Before we move into hearing from our students and the actual virtual fashion show, we wanted to welcome 3 Cazenovia College alumni to share their experiences as a Cazenovia College student, but also their experiences in their current roles. The first person I'd like to welcome is Kirsten Wood.
Hi, guys. Hi. Should I get started?
Sure, go right ahead.
All right, I'll kick it off. Hi, guys. Welcome, everyone. I'm an alumni from Cazenovia College. I attended in 2007 and graduated in 2011. I majored in fashion merchandising. I really loved Cazenovia. It was a great school for me. I was really happy to choose that particular spot instead of going to the city immediately. But as soon as I was ready to make internships and take my career off, I moved down there after I graduated, and after 10 years of working in the fashion industry, in the heart of the fashion industry, I'm now working for Victoria's Secret Corporate. So what I do today is a pretty interesting and fun role in the fashion world. It's called creative production, focused in the photo world. So essentially what we do is we plan all photo shoots for images you'll see in a store or online for any fashion brand. We plan into those photo shoots. We capture everything we need from a marketing standpoint, a product selling point, content point, and then we release it out to the world for everyone to kind of enjoy and buy all those special things that we offer. I really love it. It's been a great journey. I've had lots of awesome jobs that have led me there. And then here I am today. So currently working from home, no longer in the city at this moment. But it's a new world, so I guess we can do things like that. So, yeah.
Thank you. Our next alumni guest is Abby Chiju.
Hi, everyone. I'm Abby. I attended CAS in 2014 and graduated in 2018. It was a great experience for me. I majored in fashion design, minored in fashion merch, and then after graduating, CAS helped me attend grad school. So I went for global supply chain management in New York, and I've been working in the city for 3 years. Currently, I'm a production coordinator for American Exchange. So that's where I'm at, and CAS helped me get there, and they're still helping me to this day. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And our next guest is Jordan Raptor.
Hi. So I went to CAS. I started in 2016 and graduated in 2020. And then sort of was lost because COVID. And then I started my own business for photography and videography. And I majored in photography. So I graduated with a BFA in photography. And now I have my own business called JLM Studios. And I do dance and music videos, weddings, fashion, business promos for different businesses around here. I do media content for them, and small clothing boutiques actually around here too. I just photographed Abby Thurston's online brand, which was really fun. And CAS really helped me get here because I just started doing a lot of fashion in my freshman year. Actually, I modeled all 4 years, and then I shot for them a lot. I did their promo photo shoots for Untamed specifically, and it was so much fun, and I learned a lot just working in the fashion department and being so closely connected as the photographer with them. And then doing this show was one of my favorite projects I've ever done in my entire life, because it wasn't just photos anymore. We made a whole film, and it brought me so much joy. I've never actually filmed fashion, and so making these little commercials and these little lines that have so much variation and movement. I think movement is so powerful, and shooting dance especially, it just really shows that. So being able to work with these students and sort of creatively directing the whole day was one of my favorite things, and they're such amazing models, so fun to work with. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. just kind of bounce all over the place. No day is the same, and I have a fun time doing it.
That's awesome. It's definitely a journey, you know, when you discover that you have this passion and realize how broad it is. I know I've spoken to each of you this week individually and as well as a group, and you've each have shared differing stories of your journey. And I wanted to allow you to share some of those significant moments. Kirsten, did you want to share some of the highlights, I guess you could say, of your experience as a Cazenovia College student working as a fashion student?
Yeah. So my major highlight, and honestly was what got me into the fashion industry, was my sophomore year. I was also working for the fashion show. It's one of my favorite times of the year when I was there, and of course was so excited to be part of the planning and all the details and kind of seeing our vision of a bunch of students make it come to life. And the speaker that year actually was Betsy Hilfiger, which is Tommy Hilfiger's sister. And she does a lot of work for Tommy Hilfiger and the brand, and focuses a lot on the community and the charity side. So she made her way to Cazenovia College as part of that role, and was going to be our guest speaker for the fashion show. And luckily enough, through one of my teachers, I was able to connect with Betsy, and the teacher asked me, hey, she's going to come a little bit earlier than expected. Can you just, give her a tour of the campus, show her our fashion buildings and, some of the stuff that's going on. So, at first it was very nerve-wracking, I have to say. I mean, it's Betsy Hilfiger, and I'm just a young student, and I knew it was an opportunity that, I would want to make a good impression and try to make the most of it. So we had a great time, we did our thing and said goodbye. And then, the next day she was like on stage giving her speech, and, inspiring everyone, especially the fashion students. And through that, I just made sure, I want to keep in contact with you. You're someone that inspires me. I love your story. She's also a New York native. So, I kept up with that connection, and soon enough, after some time, it was my time to intern, and I wanted to go to the city because I, was really focused on school and, in the great, community of Kaz. So I was ready to kind of spread my wings and fly, so to speak. So I reached out to her, and sure enough, she remembered me, and she remembered Kaz, and she had nothing but good things to say about it. So, it was definitely, a high point of her life as well, being able to speak to all of us. So with that said, I was able to get an interview with Tommy Hilfiger. And I went down to the city. I remember it was actually my birthday that I had the interview. Me and my mom, we took the bus down. And I did my interview. It wasn't with, Betsy or Tommy. It was with someone else. So I knew I still had to kind of bring my top interview skills in order to, take it to the next level and actually be hired for school credit and get the amazing experience that they offer, their internships. So sure enough, I got the job. It was really exciting. And that's kind of what kickstarted my whole career. I did my internship that ended in 6 months. I was lucky enough to find out that NYU offers some great housing for interns who don't go to that college but are living there for the summer. So that was like affordable. So I did that, and then I had a great summer, but soon enough I was back at Kaz, and I was like, all right, how am I going to get back down there and back into the industry again? And that's when I was able to connect with alumni from Kaz. And there was a woman named Samantha Wells, who's actually very successful now. She's also an alumni who's a bit older than me. She's a buyer for Lulu's. Some of you may have bought like a bridesmaid dress from there, or have some other cute clothes too. And I connected with her, and we built a great relationship, and she worked for Macy's.com at the time. And she was a buyer over there. And at that time, you know, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my fashion career. There's so many things you can do. You know, I had a business background, but was also kind of creative too. So just made a great connection with her, and she got me an interview at Macy's.com. And then thankfully I got the job. And I was actually responsible for men's shoes, which was not my ideal product to be pushing, but it was great to get into that industry and kind of learn. So yeah, it really, Kaz really helped me connect with people who would get me to the next level. And that's so important in today's world. You know, everything's about human connection and, you know, helping others, and they offer that extended hand to connect you with people who will do that. So thankfully, thank you, Kaz. My internship and my first big girl job, so to speak, after graduating. And I'm still here today, and I love it. So I'm very thankful.
Definitely the highlight of the year is the fashion show, because it, you know, obviously it encompasses our fashion programs, but there are other students from other majors who are able to be a part of it, putting it together, and people don't always realize how much goes into it. I'm hoping Abby and Jordan, you can share a little bit more about your experiences as a CAS student working on the fashion show. You know, what stood out to you? What did you enjoy most? What did you learn you think that you're carrying with you today? Abby, you want to go ahead?
I didn't know if I was on mute or not.
Okay. Yep, you're good.
Okay. Well, my favorite experience, I remember I was a freshman and I was super shy. Like, I didn't like to talk to anybody. But then I heard about the fashion show. So it was like my opportunity to grow as an individual, connect with other students and such. And I believe that because I was able to get out of my shell and be more open, it allowed me to better communicate with when it came to like interviewing for positions in the industry, because I was no longer shy. I was able to relate to them, especially when it came to fashion and planning and all of those sort of things. And I found it to be really helpful, especially working in production, because production is all about planning and making sure everything is done effectively in a timely manner. So I don't think I would have been able to be as excel as much if it wasn't for me participating in the show.
How about you, Jordan?
I think I had my eye-opening moment just in fashion in general was when I shot the promo shoot for Untamed 2 years ago. It was one of my favorite studio shoots I've ever done. I was super into studio and I just always wanted to work with a team, and that was it for me. It was going into the studio, setting up everything, and then there was makeup artists there was people that were doing hair, there was models everywhere, there was designers, and it was just like one of my favorite shoots I've ever done, and it was so fun. Wild hair everywhere because it was all about it's like a jungle theme, so it was really cool. And I just loved working with a team, and I knew that's what I wanted to do eventually in my life, was just work with other creatives, which is why I love doing this fashion show, and I love working with dancers because there's just so much like give and take. It's like a lot of, they're teaching me, I'm teaching them, and it's so much fun just working with other creatives than doing like lifestyle shoots, which are a little different. It's like candid and sort of, this is your family moment, versus working with other people who are also giving you that sort of talent too, which is really fun. Yeah, and then just being in the show in general it helped me grow as a person, I think, too. I mean, I was in theater for a while, and then I did the show, and I was like, oh, we're going to be walking in front of a lot of people, just walking. And then it was really fun, and I really am happy that I did it because it was a really fun experience, just being with all those people and doing all the hair and the makeup, and then having it be such a fluid system in the back. Like, the backstage is so fun. Like, being part of it was great. So, yeah.
Well, we're very excited. Of course, we would want nothing more than to have our annual fashion show in person, but it never surprises me to see how resourceful we can be in working together to put something to present. And with that, I do want to now turn it over to Megan Lawson-Clark. We have the wonderful fashion students who are going to be talking about their experiences. Megan?
Hi. Am I on? I'm Megan Lofton-Clark, the Program Director of Fashion Merchandising. And I also want to welcome you and thank our alumni for joining us today and providing some insight into your experiences. Now we're going to meet some of the students that have been involved in this year's production. We have one of the senior fashion designers here to talk about her line and how she got to create that in the process. Then we have 4 different teams that make up the fashion show every year, and it's led by seniors in a capstone course. They will each speak to you about their different team and what they worked on this year in this very different opportunity that we had to produce a digital fashion show. So I will turn it over to that group. We have the marketing team, then the model team, VIP and finance team, and then the production group. Thank you.
My name is Alison Williams. I am currently a senior, and I'm an equine business management major. Doing the fashion show has certainly been something new for me. Being an equine business major, it's something that I've never really experienced before. But I've been able to take my 4 years of marketing classes and promotion classes and apply it to something new and different. Throughout the semester, it was different than normal promoting this event since we don't have an in-person show. We didn't have ticket sales to promote or a venue to promote, so instead we focused a lot on the behind the scenes, advertising our date and the time that we were going to premiere our show.
Hi, I'm I am a senior and my major is fashion merchandising. I was in charge of the model team. And with the model team, we were in charge of jewelry garments, and we got to organize them and really contribute with the designers and how they wanted it to be photographed.
Hi, my name is Zalali Rosario, and I also was in the model team. For this year's fashion show, we decided to find a other alternative. Instead of using actual people, we decided to use mannequins, and it worked pretty good for the jewelry garments.
My name is Catherine Short, and I'm on the VIP reception and finance team. So this year, we really didn't have much to do with finances because typically all of the teams would have a budget and we would have to plan out how much we're going to rent the venue for and catering costs and stuff. But we really focused on more of the VIP aspect of it. Since this is going to be a small, intimate fashion show viewing, we decided to pour more of our resources into making the gym look really good. And yeah, so I am going to turn it over to the production team.
Hi, I'm Carrie Angeli Rodriguez, and I'm part of the production team this year. And I actually worked in the production team previous years, and it's very different from this year. We usually work at the Landmark and have to work together with Vistec and produce a show for a way bigger audience, an in-person event. This year, we had to kind of figure out what content we wanted to produce for this show, what would interest the audience, and what will people be interested in that will create an experience since we can't be in person. We also had to work with Jordan this year, which was really cool. She helped us a lot. She was easy to work with. She had ideas that helped us produce this year's fashion show, and I hope everyone enjoys.
Hi, my name is Megan Marsh, and I was also a member of the production team this year. My major, much like Allison's, is equine business and management, so it has been definitely a different experience for me, but I can definitely say it was a good one. I've made a lot of new friends, and I've been able to apply a lot of things that I learned in my industry to what we are doing now. So it was a good experience to kind of expand some of my skills. I don't have much to compare this year's production team to since I haven't been exposed to the industry before, but mostly what we had to do was plan to shoot everything ahead of time since we did have a virtual show instead of having to practice staging, figure out filming, sound, and music for a show that would have been at the Landmark. So it's been a different and great experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Marky Zinkovich, and I'm one of the senior designers for this fashion production. I think that this fashion show, honestly, is one of the most creative things I've ever been involved with. It was a pretty big bummer that we weren't able to have like a physical fashion show, but Jordan did an amazing job with this video, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it.
If we don't have any questions,